Hello and welcome to Bellow Field, home of the Tufts University Jumbos for this Sunday afternoon matchup between Tufts and the Hamilton Continentals. Both teams coming off big wins yesterday. Thank you for joining us on JumboCast. I'm Matt Macy Phelps, joined by Charlie Driver. Charlie, what did you think of Tufts' big win yesterday over Amherst?
I think it's a huge step in the Jumbo season so far. They've been kind of so-so coming in. They've had stretches of good play where they've lost and drawn three in a row, three winless to start the season, then three undefeated, continuing off of that. But then they were kind of stumbled at Wesleyan on Tuesday. But a big win against the number 4 ranked team in the nation, Amherst, and a win in a dominant fashion, winning 3-0 over a team they hadn't beaten since 2005, could really get Josh Shapiro's boys on the front foot. As for Hamilton, won in overtime 2-1 over Wesleyan yesterday, which is interesting given that Tufts was unable to beat them earlier in the week. In that game, Jeffrey Schmidt scored 2 minutes and 14 seconds into overtime to give the Hamilton Continentals a win that got him out a little earlier than they expected. Getting ready to play 15 minutes, ended up leaving after 2.
We're a little bit delayed here. The referees were told the game was at 2:30, but in fact it was at 1:30. So the teams are coming out now, and we'll get the starting lineups right now.
Now, let's meet our starting lineups. First, for visiting Hamilton, a senior from Chappaqua, New York, number 1, Harris Polak. A senior
And Harris Pollock in net for the Continentals.
He's from Chappaqua, New York, not Chappaqua.
A senior from Gorham, Maine, number 4, Mike Lubelczyk.
And there's Alec Talzania and Michael Belzik.
Sophomore from Albany, New York, number 7, Greg Milnerick.
And Greg Milnerick, sophomore out of Albany.
Short Hills, New Jersey, number 8, Spencer Heller.
And Spencer Heller, 5'8" defender, senior.
Bandarsari Begawan, Brunei, number 9, Jeffrey Schmidt.
And Jeffrey Schmidt out of Brunei.
He's leading the team with 3 goals this season.
Brunei has one of the coolest flags in the world, I'd have to say. And there's number 10, Alex Cadet, senior out of Saratoga Springs, excuse me. And Eli Lichtman, the junior defender.
From Ipswich, Massachusetts, number 12, Aiden Wood.
And a freshman forward, Aiden Wood, out of Ipswich, Mass. A little homecoming here, back at Tufts.
Luke Eccles.
And Luke Eccles, the freshman defender, 6'2", with a big job on his hands.
Number 21, Quinn O'Malley.
And Quinn O'Malley rounding out the lineup, the junior defender.
Now, let's meet the starting lineup for the Tufts University Jumbos. First, a junior from Brewster, Massachusetts, number 1, Bruce.
And Bruce Johnson from Brewster, Mass. Junior goalkeeper getting the start again.
From Cranberry, New Jersey.
Yeah, another Sunday, another start for Johnson over Scott Greenwood, the senior.
And Zach Halliday, senior midfielder.
Cranberry, New Jersey, number 9.
And his younger brother, Kevin Halliday, who plays a little bit further up in the midfield.
A senior from Hollywood, Florida.
And now the leading goal scorer for the Jumbos, Gaston Becherano, who picked up his 6th goal on the year yesterday in the win over Amherst.
New York, number 11, Daniel Sullivan.
And Dan Sullivan, the center back, senior, out of Brooklyn.
From Narberth, Pennsylvania, number 13, Kevin Lawson.
And a senior heavy lineup for the Jumbos today. Kevin Lawson out there in the midfield.
Honolulu, Hawaii, number 14,
But at the same time, Zachary Trevorrow, the freshman, will be in the lineup for the Jumbos today.
From Wayne, New Jersey, number 16, Tyler Coulsar.
Tyler Kulsar, the junior midfielder, who's become a
Sophomore from
steadfast
Cape Elizabeth,
member of
Maine,
this Jumbo
number
squad.
19, Sterling Weatherby.
And Sterling Weatherby, the right back for Tufts.
Junior from Phoenix, Arizona, number 22, Connor Coleman.
And Connor Coleman, the junior center back. And finally, Tanner Jamison, the freshman,
Number 23,
who will play on the left side.
Jameson.
An interesting thing for me, Matt, looking at this Tufts lineup is that they look to have set up more in a 4-5-1 than the 4-4-2 that we've been seeing them play. They only have one real striker on the field in Gaston Becherano.
So ready to get underway here, and one of the important figures for this Tufts team is Nathan Majumder, the senior forward, who missed every game up to this point until yesterday when he came on as a substitute and scored the third goal for the Jumbos yesterday. And the leading scorer for Tufts last year. Charlie, what's going to be his impact today?
I think his impact might be major. He has that goal-scoring touch, as we've seen. 11 goals last term, 1 goal in 1 game already. And this is a Hamilton team that's not going to be a pushover. They're currently leading the NESCAC. They're 4-1-0 within the conference, and they're 5-3-0 overall. So they've been a really, really strong team early on in this season, and so they're not going to be a pushover for the Jumbos like some other members of the NESCAC or some non-conference games that they've played. And Jeffrey Schmidt can put the ball in the back of the net from the midfield position, and they have a bunch of other players who've scored 2 goals, Clancy and Myers, both with 2 for the term. So we could see a game with a lot of goals. We could see a game with strong defenses, but either way, a finishing touch is going to be what divides these teams.
And a quick look at those NESCAC standings. Hamilton on top with 4 wins and 1 loss, no ties in conference play. And Tufts a little further down there, tied for 5th with Amherst at 2 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie. So a pivotal matchup today. Big implications on the line for NESCAC tournament seeding. It's safe to say both these teams will probably make the NESCAC tournament at this point. But for a team like Hamilton, there's a possibility of hosting the tournament on the line.
Yeah, and home field advantage is a really big thing. We've seen that with Tufts. Their record is much stronger at home than it has been away. And the losses for Hamilton this year, at Oswego, that was away. And while they lost to Oneonta and Middlebury at home, both of those teams are nationally ranked. So it's always helpful to have home field advantage.
And Hamilton in the away whites, Tufts in those bright light blues there. A bit chilly outside, around 55 degrees.
Yeah, very overcast. We have lights on here. It's a little bit, I would say, nicer than it was yesterday for the games. Not really raining as much, and obviously not as windy, but still not the summer conditions that we had last month. And we are in October after all, Matt.
And we are on turf, so the ball will be moving pretty quickly on the ground.
And Josh Shapiro for the Jumbos has said that suits his team style of play. He's been really happy with the move over because that ball is they're able to move that ball so quickly. And this is, you'll see over the course of this game, they like to play short passes and really tiki-taka style of soccer.
So Hamilton starting out with the ball, and almost a mistake there, and Becherano gets to it immediately on the lazy pass, and it's intercepted by Kulsar, but Hamilton gets the ball back with Aiden Wood. Wood driving now, getting past the midfield. And it's Talzania in the corner, crosses low. Ball is up. Lebelzik crosses in, but it's out for a goal kick.
Not really sure if that was a shot or a cross. Either way, it wasn't very successful as Lebelzik just kind of kicks it into the side netting there, not really challenging Bruce Johnson's net.
Hamilton with the pressure early, pressing very high. And Trevorrow's pass is picked off by Milnarek, but won back by Becherano.
You'll always see that kind of fractured start to the game. Every single NESCAC game that I've seen in my time watching games has just always started for the first 3 to 5 minutes of just all over the place, really high pressing, really extreme pressing, and then as the teams feel each other's out, they settle down, and it kind of becomes more of a balanced match.
And that's Lebelzik working on Weatherby. It'll go out for a Tufts throw-in. So some quick play by both sides through the midfield.
Sterling Weatherby's been really good taking over that right back position from Connor Shable, the senior who graduated last year. He's won the job. His deputy is non-existent, where Tanner Jameson is still in a timeshare with Stephen McMillian. Weatherby's been playing pretty much every minute for the Jumbos.
And Becherano with the foul there on Milnarek, who won it from him.
Yeah, good strength from the sophomore from Albany, just holding off Becherano's attempts at that ball.
And Sullivan with the clearance. Coleman gets it out to Weatherby. And Kolsar with the triple team there. It's Wood coming away with it, but a touch too strong there. And it's scooped up by Johnson.
Bruce Johnson is the second string goalkeeper for this Jumbos team. He's played, this is his third start of the year. We saw him a few weeks ago in the win against Bates. No, in the win against Plymouth State, excuse me. But Scott Greenwood, who played against Amherst yesterday and got the clean sheet, is the undisputed #1 for this team.
So maybe Shapiro going with a little rest.
Bit of rest, and it's also good to have a goalie who's actually played some minutes when he comes into starting next year.
So a long-term play there by Shapiro. And we've got a Tufts throwing on the far side. And Lawson gets the boot forward, but it'll bounce out.
And early on for Tufts, it looks like they're playing kind of a 4-2-3-1, where they're having Halliday and Kolsar in the base of that midfield, and up higher is Trevorrow, Halliday Jr. and Kevin Lawson, which would make sense. It's a good attacking lineup.
And Wood gets through the double team and dribbles towards the end line, but had a little too much on it.
Yeah, a little heavy touch there, and it took him out of bounds.
So early on, and it's been Hamilton with more of the attacking threat. Tufts struggling to retain possession in the midfield so far. Hamilton doing a good job getting it to the wings. And the Hallidays team up with some nice headers there, getting it up to Bescherano. And it's out wide with Trevorrow now on the left side. And gets a touch, but too strong off the left foot for a goal kick.
Yeah, he's got a lot of speed, Trevor, but his talent is still fairly raw. He's only a freshman the first year from Honolulu, Hawaii. So he has some promise, as we saw there, getting in a good position and almost making something happen. But his heavy touch took him out of bounds.
Certainly not the weather he'd be used to out in Hawaii.
I wouldn't think so.
And Schmidt, his ball finds Coleman. And a foul by Schmidt on Halliday. Kolsar bringing it up to Trevorrow. Veterano in the middle now, finds Kolsar. Back to the left. Jameson. And a nice catch there between the legs by Spencer Heller, but he turns it right back over. He did not want to get nutmegged there.
Yeah, did everything he could.
Kolsar now. Halliday sends it far to his brother. Nice touch to bring it down, sends it in low with the left foot, and it's a goal! Beautiful cross and finish there from Kevin Lawson, and the Jumbos are on the board 1-0.
Yeah, just a grounded cross from the left side of the field, and it goes into the box. A lot of Hamilton players and Tufts players both try and get their foot on it, but at the end, Tufts with Kevin Lawson is able to finish that off.
And the assist there from Kevin Halliday. He received the ball, you could say a hockey assist from his older brother, Zach Halliday. But a nice low cross on the ground, and it was Lawson who got the foot to it first. And the Jumbos are up.
We were talking, Matt, about how this early stage of the game had been dominated by Hamilton, but just like that, Tufts has swung into top gear, and they're up 1-0. Here's Tyler Kolsar now.
And cleared out there by Quinn O'Malley. And it's Hamilton threatening, but Johnson clears.
That Tufts University goal was scored by number 13, Kevin Lawson.
And a dummy there from Trevorrow, but couldn't catch up to it.
Number 9, Kevin Halliday.
And that goal really justifies the way Shapiro set up this team. He's had a base midfield of Kolsar and Halliday, and Zach Halliday, which was able to pivot the play from defense to attack, and then getting it forward from that base of midfield to the attacking midfield, and Kevin Halliday transitioned into attack, and then Kevin Halliday's ball to the line leader, and Kevin Lawson, who had moved into a striker position, finished it off. So it was really beautifully worked goal.
Wood in possession. Lichtman. And a nice touch there from Schmidt. The shot is low and left.
Yeah, nice touch there from the freshman from Brunei, but not as good of a finish. Hamilton probably weren't expecting to go back this early. They've had an amazingly stingy defense so far. They've only allowed 6 goals for the entire season. That's over 8 games. So allowing less than 1 goal per game, they've already upped their average here. And the Continentals won this game in New York last year by the score of 2-1.
And Hamilton with the high pressure. And Coleman with a poor clearance. It's scooped up there by Heller. But it's lost by Cadet. And the Jumbos are back on the counter. And a poor ball there from Halliday. But both teams struggling in possession now.
Yeah, touch is really letting each team down as it does for Kevin Halliday there, but it swings out to his teammate.
And the low shot is saved away. Harris Pollock parrying it away. And it'll be a Jumbo's throw-in on the far side.
Yeah, really nice driven shot from Kevin Lawson. Already has 1 goal, looking for his second. But as you said, parried away well by Harris Pollock.
Headed in by Kalsar, headed out by Lichtman. And Becherano screaming for a handball there, but the defender much too close for that to be intentional handling.
Tufts getting a lot of players into the box now looking for that second goal, and having a lot of players in that penalty area really helps when you're searching for one.
Trevorrow pushing forward, sends a through ball, but it's intercepted there.
Yeah, good communication from Becherano indicated where he wanted it, but Trevorrow's actual ball was not up to par.
And a foul by Lawson on Lebelzik in transition. Lucky to escape a booking. So only 9 minutes into this, and the Jumbos lead 1-0 off a score from about 6 yards out by Kevin Lawson on the cross from Kevin Halliday.
They went up pretty quickly in the game against Amherst, too, yesterday. They were up within 15 minutes. So maybe they're smelling blood for another 3-0 victory here.
And a poor turnover by Quinn O'Malley on the far side. And it's the Jumbos back with the ball. Kevin Halliday turning. And Coleman's ball is out of bounds.
Yeah, I think he'd like to blame that on the win, but that was just all execution.
That ball staying with Hamilton. And it's with Cadet in space. Milnaric losing it to Lawson, who clears it out. And a collision there in the midfield, and it's Lebelzik coming away with it, and he'll rip a shot low left, and that's in!
What
Mike Lebelzik from 35 yards out, and he caught Bruce Johnson off guard, and this game is all even at 1.
Yeah, what a shot from Mike Lebelzik. The senior from Gorham, Maine, just lets rip from about 35 yards out, and it finds the bottom left-hand corner of that net. I think even if Johnson had gotten a good start, there was not much he could have done with it there.
And the defender's just not stepping up. It looked like Coleman just laid off him. Didn't expect a shot there. And Lebelzik taking full advantage of that. A beautifully placed shot, and Johnson couldn't do much, but should have prepared his defense better for it.
Yeah, we were talking about the effect of this turf on the game earlier, Matt, and yeah, the ball really flies on it. So that was not a shot that was just shot like a rocket from right into the top corner, but it probably wasn't slowed down as much by the turf as it would have been on grass, and maybe Johnson wasn't prepared for that.
So we're already being treated to a good game here. Through 10 minutes, it's 1-1. And Johnson under more trouble there, and he clears it out right to us. It's saved by Jamison.
You wonder what Scott Greenwood's thinking on the bench now, having a shutout yesterday, not starting this game here, and suddenly Tufts is down 1 after 10. Or, excuse me, Tufts lets in 1 after 10.
A good clearance by Lichtman. It's Schmidt now, and brought down on the challenge by Kalsar. Weatherby with a poor ball up to Halliday, but it'll be chased down by Bescherano. Lawson. Weatherby to the midfield. Zach Halliday gets out of pressure. And a nice ball up to Kevin Halliday. Takes it down the left wing and makes it past his man. Eccles in the dust. And Halliday's shot blocked by the defender. And Bescherano taken down by the goalkeeper. No penalty given. It's up with Halliday, not offsides. And that'll be out for a corner kick.
Yeah, I agree with the lack of a penalty there. It looked like there was nothing much in it for either player. It sort of was both players either fouling each other or not fouling each other at all, and so it canceled out, and rightfully no penalty given.
So Kevin Halliday, the in-swinger, taking the penalty. Or taking the corner, excuse me. And it's high to the far post. No one gets a touch to it, but it'll go out for a goal kick.
Yeah, with that delivery, maybe he wishes he was taking a penalty. But in the build-up to that call there, Kevin Halliday just had a really good opportunity to cross one in, and either didn't see anyone in the box or thought he could get a better chance. But he took it one touch too many, and the ball got set upon by a defender. So a really good chance wasted there for Tufts, and it's still level.
Kalsar winning another header. And that's out for the Jumbos.
Kevin Halliday has been very lively early, though. He's been all over the place.
And Hamilton in transition now. But Schmidt loses it. Intercepted by Lichtman. And it's Wood the other way. Not many options, but he'll take it up himself.
Hamilton aren't committing as many people forward as the Jumbos right now. On the back foot a little.
And Wood bring it away, and a nice move there from Cadet.
Yeah, you could hear the cries of ooh from the crowd behind us.
And it's up with Bescherano on the right wing. Lawson now swings it over to Trevorrow.
Oh, that's a beautiful ball from Kevin Lawson.
And Trevorrow off the post. And he wishes he had that one back, ripped it off the hot volley. And it'll be out for a goal kick.
Great ball from Kevin Lawson. Trevorrow comes down with it off of a deflection off of the defender. Takes the shot, ricochets off the post back to him, and can't really put the second one on target, but a really good opportunity for the Jumbos.
And it might have been a miscommunication between Spencer Heller, the right back, and Pollock, the goalie. He tried to head it to him, but the ball wound up in no man's land right in front of the goal. Of course, if you do head it back to your goalkeeper, they can use their hands as opposed to passing it back with the feet. And Trevorrow picks up the ball. Looks to Bescherano, but it'll be out for a goal kick.
But as a center back, sometimes you just have to know when to clear it out to the touchline or the sideline. There was a quote from Manchester City center back John Stones that I heard while I was watching the Premier League this morning, where he said sometimes, you know, the best center backs just know when to boot it to Rosie.
John Stone's probably not that center back, though.
I guess he has the idea in his head, but he doesn't execute it well. And maybe the central defense for Hamilton has that idea too, but didn't show itself there.
Of course, playing around with the ball at center back is a goalkeeper's nightmare. They just want to see that ball get cleared immediately.
Sometimes it's the coach's fantasy, however. Really good way of transitioning right into an attacking mindset rather than giving it to a 50-50 header up the field.
And Zach Halliday wins the ball and is fouled there by Alec Talzania.
Yeah, Talzania just went in to try and win the ball. Only got the shin of the Tufts player, and Kevin Halliday will take this free kick.
And the referee using the magic spray there to mark off 10 yards.
Not really much of a marking, though. It's kind of a straight line, which doesn't really show you where the ball should go. But I admire the effort.
Halliday boots it in, and a foul is immediately called.
Oh,
Nope.
he didn't wait for the whistle to go there. Referee's a little angry at Kevin Halliday, but it was a nice ball from Kevin. So we'll see if he can do it again. He's had some good set-piece deliveries so far in this game, and obviously that assist for the first goal.
So he sends it in again, right in front of the goalkeeper, and it's headed away, and headed in! That's a goal! And that's Dan Sullivan getting on the score sheet, right in front of net.
Yeah, just put it in a really dangerous position. Too far from the goalkeeper for him to come out, and too close for to be cleared out easily. And after a few bounces, Daniel Sullivan rose high above the rest and headed that ball into the back of the net with a looping header.
And it looks like the ball was just popped up about 12 feet in the air. And it was away from Pollock, so Sullivan just had a loopy little header into the left side of the net. And Tufts is back on top in this one, 2-1, with 28 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah, Pollock caught a bit off his line, unable to get back and get some hands on that ball, and it just went in right over his head. He could only watch it as it went in for Tufts' second goal, and they're up.
So a couple unconventional goals in this game so far.
But you have to say, it's made it exciting here, Matt.
High pressure from both teams, so this one's definitely one to watch with two of the top teams in the NESCAC. And the stands are really filling up here from both sides.
Yeah, really good Hamilton away support today. They have some very nice scarves as well for the Hamilton soccer program. It's probably keeping him warm on this slightly brisk day in October.
And Schmidt, his pass is off Wood's foot. And Zach Halliday brought down, and the foul called there on Talzania.
Yeah, Talzania on the floor just did enough to bring Halliday down, and referee will call a foul there.
And referee stopping play here to talk to Heller.
Looks like he said something that the referee wasn't really happy with.
And Tufts tried to get a quick restart, but the ball was still rolling, which is why the referee called it back, for those viewers wondering. And intercepted there by Schmidt. And Cadet's pass is picked off. Jameson looking for Bescherano. Eccles challenging there. And Bescherano called for the foul. He was grabbing Eccles by the shirt there.
Yeah, Bescherano showed his physicality and really out-muscling Eccles, but out-muscled him a bit too far beyond the rules of the game.
Bescherano with the high pressure here. And a sliding challenge from Lawson on the wing. And we'll go out for the Continentals.
Yeah, these teams are really going for it, Matt. These tackles are coming in high and fast, and we've still got 60 minutes of this game left.
And we're about to get our first substitution of the game. Both teams working at high rates, so we'll see how many subs both coaches make today.
Yeah, it looks like Brett Rojas getting ready to come into the game.
And a nice interception there from Talzania, and he's brought down by Halliday. So Hamilton stacking the box right at the 18. And Heller sends it in. It's high. Headed by Sullivan and cleared out by Lawson.
Yeah, just a little too much there. It missed the large group of Hamilton players and just fell to one. While he won the header, it just went to a mob of Tufts players.
And Sullivan with another clearance.
Looks like an inadvertent handball. That's fines as a referee.
And Trevorrow with the win there. Kevin Halliday brought down hard. And that'll be out for Hamilton. And first substitution coming on now for the Jumbos.
That's going to be it for Bescherano for this half. He's going to come out. Looks like Tufts is going to ready 2 more substitutions after this.
Now entering the game for Tufts, number 12.
In the meantime, it's actually Joseph Braun. I was wrong about Brett Rojas. Didn't see the number from across the field. But Joseph Braun, a large target man for the Jumbos who is definitely able to get his head on the ball.
And we saw Eccles struggling with the physical play of Bescherano. You can imagine Coach Shapiro seeing the physical mismatch that Braun would pose for Eccles.
Yeah, this is Braun has 4 inches on Bescherano. He's 6'4", so that should really be an interesting thing. Eccles is only 6'2", so there's a 2-inch advantage there.
And a freshman, he probably hasn't had the benefit of a weight training program for 4 years like some of the seniors out here. And Cadet in the middle.
Evidently, Majumder not up to full match fitness necessarily, because you would think that he would be at least the second-choice striker in this system.
Trevorrow gets it up to Braun, and he's pushed there by Eccles in the back.
Two substitutions waiting for the Jumbos. We'll see them in a minute.
Jameson to send it in. And it's right on top of the 6, and Braun gets a hand to it.
That's got to be a card for someone.
And very intentional there, so the yellow card will come out for Braun.
He seems to be questioning it, but there's not really any question about that. There was just one hand that rose above all of the heads in the box. And that hand was Joseph Braun's. Somehow the tallest player on the field still needed a hand to reach that ball.
Handball amused the crowd quite a bit as Braun wins the header at midfield. Oh, excuse me, Kalsar wins it. The other tall man for the Jumbos. Lawson sends it up to Braun. He tries to turn and comes away with it. Trevorrow in the middle. Tries to lay it off to Braun, but it's cleared out by Milnaric. And Halliday losing it. But Jameson recovering. Sends it out wide. Kevin Halliday with the left-footed cross. And cleared by Lichtman.
Kevin Halliday again making something happen and delivering a good ball into the box. He's been the most dangerous threat for the Jumbos so far today.
Cleared by Talzania. And Zach Halliday in space. Kevin Halliday with the right foot looking to the far post. And Trevorrow goes down up top of the box. He's holding his knee, but he hobbles up.
Yeah, Braun was caught in 2 minds there, had a really good opportunity to take a shot.
And headed out there by Heller.
We'll see those 2 changes for the Jumbos now.
Now entering the game for Tufts, number
It'll be Gavin Tasker, the freshman, coming in probably on the wing, and Matt Zinner coming in on defense for the Jumbos.
Zinner scored one of the goals in the game yesterday as the corner's taken by Kevin Halliday.
And yet again, no one touching it, but it's Braun bringing it down.
And yet again, almost a handball from this time a Hamilton Continental player.
And it's Tasker. He'll actually be, looks like, at right back for Weatherby. And Jamison with a bad touch. Wins it back from Cadet. And Schmidt with a nice pass to Cadet in the middle.
Tasker will be a big threat coming forward from right back. He's more of a forward player than a defensive one. So when he advances, he's going to be very dangerous and basically a fourth attacker in a front three.
Headed there by Lebelzik. And excuse me, Weatherby's still on the field, so looks like Tasker will be playing more on the wing, on the left wing now.
Yeah, he'll take the position vacated by Trevorrow then. Maybe a bit of an aberration in him ending up tracking back in the right back position. But he's more of an advanced player than Trevorrow, which could be Josh Shapiro kind of going for a more attacking mindset, trying to get one goal cushion in this game.
And Lebelzik's ball will be headed out by Sullivan. And it's actually Zinner taking off Kevin Lawson on the right wing for the Jumbos. And substitutions now for the Continentals, as Lebelzik and O'Malley come off.
And Kulsar is going to come off here for the Jumbos.
And that's Jackson Nadger coming on for the Bows. He'll play in that defensive midfield spot.
So a lot of players out of position now for the Jumbos. Nadger and Zinner are both central defenders. So, and Tasker heading into the midfield is also an attacker. So Josh Shapiro really shaking things up with 17 minutes to go in this half.
And those substitutes coming on for the Continentals were Castellan and Plump. Hamilton with a deep throw-in now.
Hamilton with a deep squad too. They're carrying 36 players, according to our programs, which is extremely large.
Yeah, 5 goalkeepers. Gotta wonder why they have the need for so many, especially at a school of, I think, under 2,000 kids.
Yeah.
What percent are on the soccer team? And the corner coming in from Cadet. Punched out by Johnson. And Weatherby wins the race to clear it.
Yeah, Tufts by comparison has 30 players on the squad, but that 6 players is still half of a soccer team, Nat. It's a lot of players to carry.
And Pollock winning that race. And Tasker on the left wing now. Cuts inside with a lot of space in the midfield. Zinner with Lebelzik on his back.
That's what Tasker does so well, cut inside. He gets very dangerous when he cuts in from that wing and either tries to take on a shot or give a through ball into a more advanced position.
Tufts throw.
Now entering the game for Tufts, number 29, Brett Rojas.
And Brett Rojas coming in.
That'll be Kevin Halliday's half. Brett Rojas, a freshman, has 1 goal to his name this season. Scored kind of a garbage time little cushion for Tufts in the game against Plymouth State.
Cleared by Eccles. 15 minutes remaining in the half. And Jameson getting away with a handle there.
Yeah, referee's been lenient to handballs so far if it just happens too quickly for you to get out of the way.
Tufts still leading 2-1 off goals from Pecherano and Sullivan, the center back, with a header. And going forward, that's Plump with the headband in the corner now. And that's out of bounds before Coleman clear it. Jeffrey Plump, the freshman forward out of New Jersey, playing up top now. And Heller turning it over.
That sort of physicality that Rojas demonstrated in that standing tackle is why he's such a dangerous box-to-box midfielder for the Jumbos.
And Weatherby called for the foul on Lebelzik over on the far sideline.
Tufts really going with height up front now. Rojas playing sort of in an advanced attacking midfield role of 6'3", and as we spoke already, Joseph Braun's 6'4". So a lot of towering figures for Tufts. And Nadger in the base of the midfield, he's 6'5", so he's the tallest one there.
And Castellon with the free kick. The top of the 6. And a shot there. Save and goal! Luke Eccles cleaning up off the parry for Bruce Johnson, and Hamilton has leveled it up at 2.
Yeah, strong, driven, grounded shot from Hamilton there is saved quite well by Bruce Johnson, but he's not able to parry it away to the side of the goal. Instead, it goes forward right back into the center of the penalty box, and Luke Eccles is there to put the rebound away after it bounces around a little bit. Suddenly it's 2-2 and 4 goals in the first half. Who knows what the second will have.
And the whole box was crowded there. Alec Talzania got a low shot off, saved by Johnson, but Eccles was right there for the cleanup duty. And a wide open net for him.
Yeah, nothing Johnson could do. The only qualm one could have is that he didn't push the ball to the side, only pushed it back out in front of him.
Correction. That Hamilton College goal scored by number 16, Luke Eccles.
Cheers as Luke Eccles has officially rewarded the goal by the PA.
And Sullivan clears with the head. Halliday pushing it forward as well. And that ball a little too far. It's easily picked up by Pollock.
Yeah, as fast as Tasker is, he's not going to get to that one.
Heller sends it up, and it's offsides for Aiden Wood. Zinner loses the ball. Zach Halliday. Nadger coming away with the header. Coleman gets up to Braun.
Brown probably could have stooped and gone with his head there and gotten more power under it. The chest was under hit.
And Cadet working the ball over to the left side for Hamilton.
Looks like we're going to see Majumder now for the Jumbos. He's readying at the sideline.
Weatherby's pass picked off by Cadet. Challenged by Nadger. Heller sends it in. Finds Wood. Cadet to the left side. And Rowan Myers there. Cadet on the corner of the box, rips one low. That's wide left, out for a goal kick.
Yeah, just a poor shot from Cadet, but he had a really nice pass there to find his teammate in the corner. Got it out of pressure. We're going to see Zazali and Majumder now for the Jumbos.
Christian Zazali and number 24, Nathan Majumder.
So Halliday and Braun coming off. Majumder and Zazali in.
Second game now for Nathan Majumder, who missed the beginning of the season with a concussion.
He was hopeful to get back into action this weekend, and he's getting 2 games under his belt. And a foul there, drawn by Majumder. Pushing the back.
Josh Shapiro maybe hopes that he can return to what he did last year, which was play a lot of games with Gaston Becherano and Majumder playing up front together. Especially with Becherano's form at the moment, that could be a very potent combination.
Whipped in low, Majumder gets ahead to it. It's in front of the box and punched out by Pollock. And a low shot there was blocked there, and Pollock comes away with it.
Yeah, Nadger got his head on it, but didn't have any power at all, but bounced right down and back up into a dangerous possession, a dangerous area of the pitch, but was cleared. And then the cross, didn't really have enough on it, and Pollock was able to catch it.
And foul called there on Aiden Wood. He pushed Nadger in the back. Eight and a half left in the half.
It's been very balanced, Matt. The score sheet reflects that. No one team has really been dominant over the other. They've each had moments of brilliance and moments of real poor play.
Weatherby crosses in. Majumder there, tries to bring it down, but can't. And Coleman with a costly turnover there.
Well,
It's
maybe
Jamison coming away with it.
maybe not as costly as that turnover first seemed.
Eccles clears, but it's Jamison coming away with it. Tasker. And Coleman's ball goes well out. Coleman stepping up there. Coleman winning the header. Cadet in the midfield. And Hamilton will switch fields.
Continentals have really benefited from Cadet's vision. He really runs that midfield very well.
Aiden Wood in the corner. Guarded by Sullivan, out for a Hamilton throw. Cadet brings it down, works it to the end line, and sent out by Sullivan. And it's Zali with a costly turnover, but quickly cleared out. Cadet with a drag back. And Heller gets it up to Talzania. Coleman pushing forward with the head. Play a little bit more stagnant than we've seen. And Tasker there, and a pull of the shorts by Heller goes uncalled. And that ball will go Hamilton's way, out of bounds. But it's one back by Rojas. Finds Majumder, dummy. It's Zazali in front of the box. Low shot is wide.
Yeah, just didn't really get the shot that he wanted there, Zazali. Majumder had a great awareness to know that Christian was there. Just let the ball roll past him with the dummy, and the shot was left wanting for what was a very good piece of build-up play.
And it's been plays like that where teams are really stretched out across the field, and the offenses get opportunities that they otherwise wouldn't if the defenses were further back.
Yeah, the balance of this game has meant that it's been very open. Neither team really sitting back. They're just They're balancing attack and defense very nicely, and it makes for a very good game for neutrals.
Under 5 now in the half.
Seems like we've had a whole game's worth of action in just 45 minutes worth of time.
And sent out a play by Rojas. Turnover there. Tasker pushing up to Majumder. He's got 2 men in front of him. Hold it up and get it off to Tasker. Cutting inside. And that shot blocked by Eccles. That cross, rather. Jamison sends in a looping ball, but it's towards the front post. And
Yeah.
Pollock.
May have gotten a slight deflection there, the ball from Jamison, but that was really good work by Majumder, and that shows why he's one of the co-captains for this Jumbo team. The role of the striker, part of it is that when you're in isolation, you need to be able to keep the ball with you and get it to one of your teammates, even if you have to wait a bit. And Majumder gave a master class in doing that there.
And Majumder getting a little push in the back from Eccles. Majumder, the shortest of the Tufts options up at top. Rojas clearing out of bounds. Majumder chasing it down and might have got away with a hand there and bringing it down.
That's another handball uncalled. Brown's the most blatant of the 4 that we've seen, is the only one that got whistled. But I think that should have been a foul.
Rojas to Majumder. Turns. And Rojas sends it back out. And almost turned over there by Weatherby, and it will be. Both teams struggling to retain possession. A little bit of mist coming in, fog rolling in. And Plump sending it over to the right side. And Heller sending it back over to the left. But it's just behind there for Rowan Myers.
Here comes Zach Lane, the freshman for Tufts. He's going to replace, didn't catch the number. He's going to replace Matt Zinner, who's been playing in the midfield. Lane, a natural midfielder compared to the defender, Zinner.
Hydra gets it up to Zazali. And his pass intercepted. Hamilton coming away with it off the win from Myers. But it's Tasker now on the left. He's got Majumder. Nadger losing the ball.
That's where Nadger's center-back nature shows. He wasn't really comfortable in the possession there, but he had to pass it on, and he just couldn't. Turnover resulted.
Lane. And it's Wood now. And Wood going down. Fouled by Nadger.
Yeah.
There is 1 minute remaining.
You do get the advanced physicality by putting a defender in the midfield like that, but sometimes there are just certain things that they do better when they're further back, and Nadger's looked a little off the pace in his position. Hasn't cost Tufts a goal, but it could if you go forward.
Just over 30 seconds remaining in the half, and it's booted in by Castellan, headed out by Nadger, Rojas. And a shot there and saved by Bruce Johnson. Calzania challenging the goalkeeper with the outside of his foot.
Good shot, easy save. Really had a lot behind it, but it was shot straight at the goalkeeper, Johnson, and he just had to parry it down before taking it into his hands.
Ghazali with 10 seconds left. And that's kicked out of bounds, so that'll likely be the half. So we've got some excitement here, 2-2. Tufts and Hamilton tied at the break. Join us for the second half. And welcome back to Bellow Field. Tufts and Hamilton soccer are tied 2-2 coming into the second half. I'm Matt Macy Phelps. I'm joined by Lucas Johnson, who's one of our training commentators today. Lucas, welcome to JumboCast, and we thank our viewers for tuning in. And Lucas, what was your impression of the first half in this game?
Overall, it was a very even matchup for the first half. We saw earlier in the season, the Jumbos really dominated many games, even the games that they were losing, just as some freak goals. But it's a very evenly matchup that we have today. So let's see if that continues in the second half.
And back and forth play in the first half. Kevin Lawson with an early goal for the Jumbos. That was followed up by a long-range shot from Mike Lebelzik for the Continentals. After that, Dan Sullivan had an odd header inside the box, and that was followed by Luke Eccles getting a rebound goal for the Continentals late in the first half. So we're all knotted up at 2-2, and a competitive match here with standings on the line in the NESCAC.
Rain's starting to pick up a little bit more. Conditions are similar to yesterday's game. More of just a mist than a rain, but still.
And that's up with Gaston Becherano up top. And bouncing off a couple heads, that'll be out for a Hamilton goal kick. Saw quite a few substitutions up top for the Jumbos in the first half. Started with Becherano, and they went to Braun. And finally Majumder, who's finally back after having a concussion most of this season. And it'll be Pollock with the goal kick for Hamilton. Pollock making a couple important saves in the first half.
Tufts really making them work. They've been putting a lot of balls in the box there.
That's cleared by Eccles. And Sullivan into the back of Wood. He's called for the foul. And a quick restart, but the ball was still moving. And we saw that call in the first half. A proper call made by the referee there. So Hamilton will have to bring it back to take the free kick. Heller playing it short over to Eccles. And he sends in a high cross, but that's picked out of the air by Johnson. Might be a shot on goal. Probably would have gone in had Johnson not been there. Tasker struggling with it, but he sends it up. And Eccles with the clear, but it's picked up by Kulsar. Zach Halliday in the middle. So it's mostly Tufts original starters out there, with the exception of Zinner and Tasker playing over on the right side for the Jumbos instead of Trevorrow and Weatherby. And Lawson working down the left side. Eccles with the clearance. And Becherano called for the foul there.
Becherano's a very physical player, and that's been a big part of why he's leading scorer here for the Tufts Jumbos.
Yeah, we've seen him get in some physical battles here with Eccles, the freshman. And Schmidt sends it wide. It's Lebelzik now. And he's working on Jamison. Or excuse me, that's Zinner. And that's out of play for the Jumbos, off Lebelzik's foot. And Kulsar losing it, but Wood is called for a foul coming around him with his foot. Bouncing around the midfield. And it'll be Jameson coming away. Kulsar winning the race, sending it out to Tasker. He's got a lot of space on the right wing. Shifty footwork, cuts it outside, sends in a cross, and almost headed by Becherano, but it's Pollock getting to it first.
Becherano just a step too slow there with a nice ball in from Tasker.
Nice head on by Talzania. And Lawson tries to slide out of bounds to save it, but it'll be a Hamilton throw. Cadet with a nice backheel pass. He's been doing a great job in the midfield today for Hamilton. Jameson clears it up the line. And a handling called there on Quinn O'Malley. Coleman sends it way up to Bescherano. Great pass. Bescherano gets by some midfielders. He's in her now. Wide to Tasker. He's got room to cross. Sends it in and headed away by Lichtman. And Lawson's ball is popped up. Pollock down, and he's fouled there. So it'll be a Hamilton free kick.
Tasker with another good ball in the box there, but Hamilton got to it before the Jumbos could have a chance.
And it was the low cross from Kevin Halliday in the first half that set up the Jumbos' first goal. We're seeing Tasker cross it more in the air. Cleared out by Eccles. Bescherano chasing down Eccles. Tries to get around him, and Eccles sends it out. That'll be a Tufts throw-in. Oh, nope. Off Tufts. It'll be a Hamilton throw-in right in the corner. Zach Halliday finding his brother, and it's off to Kevin Lawson now, finding Tasker. That ball last off Tasker's shin, but he chases that down with a vengeance there. Tasker getting it back to Zinner. Sends in a cross, but no Jumbos are home there. Kolsar finding Kevin Halliday in space. Sends it to the left side, and Bescherano. And a little too much velocity on that ball for Bescherano to control it.
Yeah, got a little ahead of himself there. Tasker's a real hustler, though. He's never going to just give up on a ball. He's always chasing him down, making the defense work a little more.
Probably one of the quickest players on this pitch. Schmidt. And it's out wide with Lawson. Sends it up to Kevin Halliday. In the corner now, tries to get around, but Eccles does a nice job bodying him out. And it'll be a Jumbo's throw-in. Jameson turns it over. And Molnaric sends it back to the keeper, but Jumbos are pressuring hard and reaping the rewards here. And the Jumbo center backs doing a good job of supporting their wing backs here, who are high in the pressure. Lichtman clears. 10 minutes in. Not quite as much excitement as we saw in the first half, but both teams still playing pretty openly.
It's been more so a battle at the midfield than a battle at in the box and for the goalkeepers as it was in the first half.
And Jamison going down there on the foul by Schmidt. Zinner's pass intercepted there. It's Wood. Nice interception by Zinner. And sending a long ball down to the left side. It's Lawson over there. He'll get to it. Going to the goal line. Ball stays in. And headed away by Eccles.
Just couldn't get enough air under that one. He had Besharana right there, but Hamilton's defense stood tall.
So Kevin Halliday to take the corner. It's way out to the far post and over Coleman's head, and he cannot save it. It'll be a goal kick.
Too much there from Holiday. Not a bad idea going back post, but nobody could get it when you kick it that far.
And first substitution of the half, it's looks like Jackson Nadger coming on, replacing Dan Sullivan. So Nadger will move into the center back role. He played some defensive midfield earlier in the first half. Sullivan getting his first rest of the game after having scored the Jumbo's second goal. And Kulsar being chased down in the double team, but Zach Halliday's there to back him up. Lebelzik pressuring hard. It's up to Besharano now. And can't quite be saved by Tasker. Lebelzik feeling the double team, loses possession. Zinner in the middle. Jamison on the far side. And Jamison sends in a cross, but it's well across the goal line. And it'll be Sterling Weatherby coming on to replace Zinner at right back.
Hamilton struggled to keep possession of the ball here in the second half. It seems like the Jumbos keep getting it back, but so far have nothing to show for it in terms of any goals here in the second half.
Talzania gets it to Schmidt. It'll bounce out for a Jumbo throw. And Heller going down hard there. It looks like he and Lawson made contact with the ball at the same time, and the force of that might have transferred through to his knee.
Grabbing at it right now on the ground. Just got to hope he's okay and can get up.
And that's a tough play. Neither player fouling, but really just contact at the same time. And he seems to be in some pain.
Looks like he's getting up under his own power, trying to walk it off. Struggling to do so, though.
Heller remaining in the game. Kevin Halliday clearing up to Bescherano. Lays it off, and Lawson can't keep it in bounds. Jamison fighting for it.
Jamison only a freshman, and he's really been getting involved, at least today, for the Jumbos.
Kolsar. And it's Kevin Halliday now. And that ball too hard. Jameson wins the header. Lawson out wide. Bescherano sends it in. Tasker gets ahead to it, but it's headed down by Quinn O'Malley there. Jumbo's threatening.
Nice play by O'Malley, really just giving up his body to get that ball out of there.
And Wood wins it away. Gives it right back under the pressure from Kolsar. And a long ball up, but it's Lawson offsides there.
Meanwhile, the mist has eased up. Seems pretty dry out here right now. Different than from the first half.
You're going to wonder if at halftime with this cool weather, the players cooled off a bit and haven't come out with quite as much energy as we saw in the first half.
Takes a lot to get loose, especially once you start getting in these October games and hopefully the November games for the Jumbos and the Continentals likewise.
Weatherby saving it in bounds. And a sliding challenge from O'Malley, but it'll be remain with the Tufts Jumbos. And a nice win by Wood, getting past Nadger. But his ball is picked off by Coleman. Tasker. Zach Halliday in space. And cleared out by Eccles. Kolsar with Bescherano. Nice pass to Tasker. Oh, excuse me, that's Kolsar. And it's out for a goal kick. Substitutions now for both teams.
Now entering the game for Hamilton.
And tough to
Number 3, Rowan
see the numbers
Myers,
from over here,
and
but
number 18, Killian
it'll be
Clancy.
Rowan Myers and
Into the
Killian
game
Clancy
for
coming
Tufts,
on
we have number 5,
for
Stephen
Hamilton.
McMillian,
And on the other end, it's Stephen McMillian and Zach Lane both coming on for the Jumbos.
See if these substitutions can provide a spark for both teams. Neither team has really had the pressure that we saw in the first half.
Lane getting his first touch in the half. That goes out for Hamilton. Headed out by Nadger.
Looks like we have Jack Delaney getting ready to check in. Next dead ball.
Tasker, who switched over to the left wing. And Bescherano pushed down hard by Eccles. He's slow to get up. And here's the substitution.
Now entering the game for Tufts, number 8, Jack Delaney.
Delaney replacing Kulsar. Lebelzik and Lane fighting for the ball there. Tasker fighting through here. Keeps the ball. Zach Halliday. And he looks for his brother, but touch is too strong, and it's Pollock coming away with the ball. Delaney getting it to Tasker. Trying to push it up to Bescherano. And it'll roll out for Hamilton throw.
Nice play by Eccles to cut off Bescherano's lane right there.
And substitution coming shortly for the Jumbos, I guess, when they have their next throw-in or goal kick. We got a shoe tie right here, delaying the game. Kevin Halliday trying to get it to Bescherano. But a nice clearance by Lichtman to the sideline. And the substitutions will come on for the Jumbos now. It's Majumder, and it looks like
It's Joe
Braun
Brown
coming in. So Joe Braun and Nate Majumder replacing Kevin Halliday and Gaston Bescherano. So they'll probably be those two up top.
Number 24, Nathan Majumder.
And Sullivan coming back on. He'll replace Coleman in the back.
Now entering the game for Tufts, number 11, Daniel Sullivan.
And with that substitution, I'll make my substitution back into this game as well. To go back through the end. Having watched this half so far, there's really not been much in it. It's been Tufts dominating possession, but they just have lacked that final ball, and that may be part of why you want Majumder and Braun in there. Those are two forwards that can really change the way Tufts is playing and try and create something in a more direct manner.
Weatherby with the odd throw. He's got a little bit of a cast on his right thumb. Probably affected the flight of the ball there.
It'd be interesting that they're having him take throw-ins with a cast on his thumb, though.
And he goes to take another one. He's probably got the furthest throw for the Jumbo team.
Yeah, they have long throw options in Christian Zazali on the bench, but with him not in, I guess Weatherby is the next best option.
That one makes its way to the edge of the 6, and it's cleared out. Halliday getting a shot off. It's Majumder now, but too many defenders in the box there for him to get a meaningful shot. And headed away by O'Malley. McMillian rips one, and it's saved by Pollock.
It's a good volley in an awkward position for McMillian, but it's just too far out to summon the requisite power to get that in the net past Pollock.
And it's out wide now with Myers. That'll be a Hamilton throw.
This is some of the most advanced Hamilton has been since the start of the half.
Referee having a quick word here with McMillian and Clancy. Headed out by Zach Halliday.
Miscommunication there. They went for the long throw, but the players moved in as if the throw was going to be shorter, and suddenly long throw went to no one but Jumbo's defense.
Clancy trying to get by McMillian, and that'll be out for a corner kick. One of the first opportunities for Hamilton in the half.
And they're going to bring the goal scorer Eccles up, who got one on a set piece earlier.
And it's taken short. And it's with Myers at the top of the box. Rips a half volley, but it's right to Bruce Johnson in the center of the net.
Similar story to McMillian's volley on the other end a minute or two ago. Just didn't have enough power and didn't have the direction.
Cadet gets it over to Myers. Lane brings it down. Halliday sends it wide to Tasker, but it's picked off by Heller in the air. Clancy finding Schmidt there, battling with Sullivan. Hamilton throw-in.
Hamilton advancing into Tufts' possession, Tufts' half more in the last few minutes than they had, which is a good sign for Perry and Eatsy's team.
And that's headed out for a goal kick. 18 minutes remaining. If this remains tied, they'll go to overtime. Majumder now. Weatherby sends the ball in. Headed out by Eccles. And Myers clears it up. And Weatherby with a costly turnover, but Hamilton can't take advantage in transition.
Hamilton just lacked the bodies up front to really get anything done, even if the pass had gotten to Schmidt there. It was a 4-on-2, and that's not usually going to work very well if you're getting the ball around the halfway line.
Majumder lays it off. Zach Halliday with the ball. Might have been clipped, but he's surrounded by defenders, and the foul is eventually called wisely by the referee.
Yeah, good advantage while Halliday still had the ball. There was always a threat of him taking a shot. He's not that far out. But now the Jumbos will get a free kick in a dangerous position just to the left-hand side of the middle of the field.
About 25 yards out. See who lines up to take this, but McMillian and Delaney are currently standing over the ball.
This is probably in shooting distance. Well, it's definitely in shooting distance, and it may be better for a shot than to try and dink a little cross that won't necessarily be that effective.
Four-man wall for the Continentals. Tufts with one man in that wall. It'll be Delaney, right footer, shoots it, and it's straight to Pollock. So couldn't take advantage of the free kick in a great spot.
The height was good on that free kick, but that was about it in terms of positives. It didn't have enough power on it. It was straight to the goalkeeper, Pollock, and As such, a really dangerous free kick is just wasted by Delaney.
Nadger winning it back to McMillian. Sends the ball up to try to find Majumder. And a Hamilton throw-in as we get some substitutions here.
Colsar is going to replace Halliday, Zach Halliday for the Jumbos.
For Hamilton, number 2, Alex Talsania.
And
number 12,
Talsania and
Aiden
Wood coming back on for Hamilton.
The game for Tufts, number 16,
Getting a quick rest. Looks like they'll play out the rest of this half. And Lane almost got to that, but it's cleared away by O'Malley. Hamilton with a transition opportunity here. Lebelzik on the wing being chased down, and slide in from Delaney. Beautiful challenge.
Yeah, great sliding tackle from Delaney. Broke up the play brilliantly.
And O'Malley switching the ball. McMillian gets ahead to it, but it's with Myers. Myers now, and lays it off to no one there.
Yeah, in the second half, Hamilton, as they showed there, just haven't had the communication in the final third, and they haven't had the final touch either, as you can see with that cross-come shot just slicing to Bruce Johnson.
Talsania no real purpose on that ball. Too far to be a shot, and wasn't really on target to be a cross.
Yeah, much different from the long-distance goal we saw in the first half from Hamilton.
Sullivan sending it down to Tasker on the left wing, but headed by Heller. Colsar with a nice win on the ground. Lane with a turn. Lane's got a step, but he dribbled a little too far. Gonna roll out for a tough throw.
Lane had a step, but his touch was 2 steps long. Led to a turnover.
Substitution as Nadger is replaced by Coleman and Weatherby is replaced by Zinner.
Connor Coleman and number 27, Matt Zinner.
It's with Braun now. Backheel pass. He finds Lane in the box. Braun with the shot near post, and it's saved by Pollock. That would have gone in had he not met it.
Yeah, good idea and worth an attempt. But just didn't have any power.
Zinner. Pass picked off by Myers. Hamilton throw. And it's over in the right corner. Coleman. And Delaney being brought down by Myers. Foul is called.
Coleman just didn't wait till the ball had stopped there.
And pushing and shoving here with Braun and Eccles. It was away from the referee. So they'll resume play.
That little scrap might be one of the last things Braun does. It looks like Gaston Becherano is going to come into this game, and I would assume it would be to replace the freshman.
Zinner with a nice move. And
it's another
handle there.
Yeah, another handball the referee hadn't called. I thought he had changed his tune in the beginning of the half when he called a little inadvertent handball for Hamilton, but evidently he's content to let a lot of these go.
Pulsar. And Lane has to catch up to that because it's O'Malley coming in sliding. And that ball just behind Wood there. Jumder. Braun. Tasker cutting inside. And it slides its way through to Zinner. But too strong of a touch there, and it's Lebelzik pulling away. Wood. And Sullivan with the physical play. Wood gets to it, though. Sends it on the ground. And no real shot there from Clancy. He was on the ground when he tried to get it.
Yeah, that was good work from McMillian to get to the ground. When Clancy had the ball at his feet, McMillian got in the way of the shot, blocking it. Clancy fell over and was unable to get it at the second asking, but Stephen McMillian could have saved a goal there with that intervention.
Substitutions now as Schmidt will come on for the Continentals.
Bescherano coming on for Braun. Meanwhile, Tanner Jameson returning into the game for the Jumbos. As Gavin Tasker exits.
And it's Clancy to the bench for Hamilton. And looks like a handle called there on Majumder.
Number 10, Gaston Bescherano, and number 23, Tanner Jameson.
Here's probably Tufts' first choice front line now, with Bescherano and Majumder both in the game.
Jeffrey Schmidt.
Heller boots it in. Delaney clears out of bounds. Oh, remains in bounds. Bescherano fighting. And it's Majumder in space now. He's got options as well. Lawson cuts to the left, and Lane has it picked off by Eccles. Great move by the freshman defender.
Yeah, he's really looked more than the sum of his years, Eccles. Scoring a goal, being very solid defensively. I'm very impressed with him today.
And it'll be Cadet coming back on, replacing Tanzania in the midfield.
Now into the game for Hamilton is number 10, Alex Cadet.
Lawson. Eccles again winning the ball, but Bescherano comes from behind him and is called for the foul.
And with about 7 minutes, 45 seconds left in this game, in this regulation, a goal doesn't look an inevitability here. We could be seeing some overtime, barring any moments of brilliance from either side.
Schmidt. Coleman with a nice clearance.
Vital clearance from Coleman. Ran the risk of the high foot, but had to go for it.
Majumder up to Lane on the wing. Lane with the one-touch cross, but it's Eccles there. That'll be a jumbo throw in deep on the right side.
Yeah, Bescherano's run to taking it too far. There's nothing he could do. And Lane will come off to be replaced by Zachary Trevorrow, who started this game.
Zachary Trevorrow.
Zinner's throw to Majumder, turns it. Tries to get a ball in, but it's cleared out.
Zinner might have stepped over the line on that throw-in, but the assistant referee was lenient there.
And Lebelzik with a nice clear. And a hard challenge there from Delaney on Cadet.
Delaney's been making those challenges since he entered into this game. He's been all over, really breaking up play with sliding in and getting his foot in the ball. He's done well in that regard as kind of a stopper for this midfield.
Maybe a handle there by Schmidt, but instead a hand is called on Zinner.
Again, if there's one criticism I have of the referee is that he's not being consistent with the handballs at all. There's no rhyme or reason to the ones that he calls versus leaves alone, and this is an example. This is a prime position for Hamilton where Tufts could have had a free kick just a moment ago for a different handball.
Talzania taking the kick. Right on top of the 6, it's headed. And Coleman clears it on the ground. That was O'Malley with a chance as he was coming down.
Yeah, really nice ball.
Cadet boots it back in, but it'll be Johnson getting there first, and he comes down on top of Coleman, losing possession, but the Jumbos keep the ball. Trevorrow, the poor pass up to Bescherano. And a poor job there between Cadet and O'Malley, and it'll be a Jumbo's throw deep in Hamilton territory.
It's a very nice mistake for the Jumbos to be dealt.
Kevin Halliday coming on for Nate Majumder.
Now into the game for Tufts is number 9.
So back to that 4-5-1 we started this game with from Tufts. They had been playing with a 4-4-2.
Under 5 now. Halliday. Ball stays in. Zinner. Cuts to the corner. Cleared out for a Tufts throw. Delaney's shot blocked. And a dangerous ball in there by Jamison, but no one was in its path. And it rolls out for a goal kick. Talzania in the midfield. Plays it off to O'Malley. Gets it to Lebelzik, but Sullivan beats him to it. And that's out for a Tufts throw.
Yeah, good work with the flicked header by Kevin Lawson off the back of his head to play that for a Tufts throw. And good footwork there to evade the rampaging Hamilton Continental.
Talzania got away with a handball there. And it's Kevin Halliday with the shifty footwork. On top of the box, and he's brought down. No call.
Yeah, it just looked like he tripped himself up there. No foul in it.
And it's a dangerous ball here now. Schmidt storming down the right side. And it's off Wood, couldn't control it. Delaney coming away.
That mist is picking up again. Bellafield feeling more and more like the grocery aisles that kind of miss the food to keep them fresh.
That's out of bounds there for Hamilton. Halliday pushes it up to Bescherano. Eccles chasing it down now.
Good work by Eccles to just get in the way of Bescherano and keep him from passing him with his pace.
Good save by Talzania, but it's back with Bruce Johnson now. Halliday winning the header.
Minute and a half to go. It looks like we may be going for overtime.
Sullivan stepping in front of Schmidt. Tufts throw.
minute remaining.
And 1 minute left now. It's Wood and Coleman going for it. Coleman going down. Might have got a push there, and the assistant ref is calling for a foul. And they'll give it to him. Coleman boots it forward. Besharano with the header. He finds Trevorrow in the corner, but Eccles gets a foot to it first. So Tufts throwing with 35 seconds left. If they can get a goal here, they'll surely end the game. Kevin Halliday on the corner of the box. Nice win there by Talzania, and he gets the foul call. So we're under 20 seconds, and that'll probably be just about it. I don't think Hamilton will press too hard. We're at 10 seconds left.
Yeah, and so in the game yesterday when they beat Wesleyan, they only needed 2 minutes, 14 seconds to get out of overtime. Let's see if they can beat that record or if Tufts can deny them that.
So after a 2-2 first half, we saw no goals in the second half, and we'll go to overtime here. Stay tuned. And we're back at Bellow Field for the first overtime period between Tufts and Hamilton. 2-2 is the scoreline. All goals were scored in the first half. The second half was more relaxed. Tufts with a lot of the possession. Some close opportunities for both teams, but we'll play the overtimes to try to determine a winner. It is sudden death, 2 10-minute periods. If no one scores at the end of those 20 minutes, then it'll be a draw.
Both of these teams have had overtime wins during the season so far. Hamilton yesterday beat Wesleyan in 2 minutes in overtime, in the first overtime, as Jeffrey Schmidt scored the winner. And Tufts won with a Christian Zazali goal against Brandeis at their campus on the 24th of September. But that came right at the end. I believe it was like 52 seconds or something away from the end of overtime. So can go either way. Tufts also has one draw in a game against Colby that went to double overtime, ended 1-1.
Pollock reining that in. Jumbos have gone back to Majumder up top as the sole striker. They've got Zinner and Tasker on the wings with Kevin Halliday at the attacking midfield spot.
Yeah, Weatherby's come back in the fullback position, and it looks like he's gotten rid of the bandage he had on his thumb.
Sullivan clearing. Tasker chasing it down. And a foul called there on Hamilton.
I like the choice of putting Tasker into this game for overtime. All you need is one moment, and Gavin Tasker is the kind of live wire that can create possibilities for the Jumbos.
So it'll be Kevin Halliday over the ball. Tufts with 4 men at the top of the box, and it's sent low. And that play was read by Heller.
Yeah, it didn't quite work as it probably did on the training ground.
Weatherby boots it up. Lichtman with a nice pass up to Cadet. But Halliday wins it back, and Tasker's ball is picked off. And a handle is called, it looks like.
I've seen a lot of handballs in this game.
Ball pretty slick coming up off the turf with the mist we've been getting. Lichtman sends it forward.
Yeah, the mist has been on and off, but it's been very very wet in the air here. And it's very overcast as well, although we had one ray of sunshine during the second half.
Tasker up to Majumder. He's defended by Eccles. Majumder again. And turns it over. Sullivan with the win, and it's Wood going down there holding his ankle.
Yeah, it's either the ankle or the heel there for Wood. Something tweaked.
Zach Halliday. Deflected pass, finds Delaney. Delaney cutting in space. Jamison sends the ball in with his left foot. And Majumder in front of the box. Majumder with a chance, and it's Pollock coming away with the save. And the referee looks like calling a foul on Majumder.
Yeah, Majumder's touch got away from him. Pollock came in with the ball, and Majumder went for it. He had every right to go for it, but the ball was in the goalkeeper's hands, and Majumder's foot went into the goalkeeper's chest.
And Majumder goes into the book with a yellow card. Maybe a foul. I don't necessarily agree with the yellow on that call. Goalie didn't fully have possession. But Pollock boots it away.
It looked like another possible handball that from Kevin Halliday. Jeffrey Schmidt now with it.
And it's Zach Halliday controlling. Sent forward by Jamison to Kevin Halliday. Majumder worked physically by Eccles. And Kevin Halliday pushing up now. He sends it wide. It's Zinner as Halliday goes down. Advantage played. Zinner sends in a low cross, and it's scooped up by Pollock.
The problem was, even if the cross was good, they only had one man in the box. Majumder wasn't there. It was only Tasker, surrounded by both center backs and one of the fullbacks.
Tasker. Eccles pressured by Majumder, plays it off him for a goal kick. Well done by the freshman.
Let's go, White. Let's go. Come on, boys. Need one. Let's go.
A little under halfway left to go in the first period of overtime, and Jumbo's still having more possession, just as they did in the second half.
Come on, White. Let's go. Do this. Do this, Jeff.
Kevin Halliday winning the header. Tasker now. And played out by Lichtman. Kevin Halliday sends it over to Zinner, but it might be too long for him. Saves it, but winds up on the ground out of bounds. Weatherby the interception. And Zinner letting that bounce out. Weatherby to take the throw. Majumder kicks it back. Eccles heads. Wood now. Cleared by Lebelzik. And Wood trying to get a step on Coleman, but the center back plays it back to Jameson. Majumder with the head. Kevin Halliday back to Majumder. Halliday now rips a shot, but it's off Lichtman.
May have been the
Tufts
wrong
throw.
decision there from Kevin Halliday. Could have played it out to Zinner on the wing, who was in space. Instead opted to take a shot that went straight into the defender that was barely feet away from Halliday.
Majumder, low cross. It's in now. Zinner lays off, and Zach Halliday rips it over the bar. Couldn't keep it down there.
Yeah, Halliday tried to finesse it, but just too much under it, and it went right over the and through the rugby uprights.
Come on, White. Here we go, boys. Let's go. Let's go. Here we go. Come on, White. Sweep the weekend, boys. Let's go for the sweep. Come on, boys.
Tasker. And an errant ball there from Jameson. 2 minutes left in the first overtime period. And Halliday's pass rolls out. It's with Cadet. He loses it. Kevin Halliday the other way. Halliday coming on strong. Plays it off to Tasker, but Eccles slams that into the neighborhood next door. Majumder fighting off there. Gets a volley, and it's saved by Pollock.
Good play from Majumder, just doesn't get enough on the volley to take it past Pollock.
There is 1 minute remaining.
Did a great job fighting off Lichtman to gain position there. Kevin Halliday now. And Delaney's pass. Oh, and a poor clearance. And Tasker's chasing it down, but it's cleared out by Heller.
Tasker has so much speed that he just got, his legs took him past the ball there, but he was able to win the corner nonetheless.
So 28 seconds left in the first overtime. This will be the last opportunity here.
Tufts bringing everyone up for this corner.
And it's sent in. Top of the 6, headed around, and it's over the bar. So 15 seconds left, and we'll be going to the second overtime period here.
Tufts have looked the more likely to gain the winner here. They've been dominating possession and been in the Hamilton Continentals half for most of this, but they've been unable to get that final shot. And so we'll switch sides and see if they can break through in the second half.
So join us for that second overtime period. Sudden death here between Tufts and Hamilton, all tied up at 2. And welcome back to Bellow Field. Tufts 2, Hamilton 2 at the start of the second overtime period. It's sudden death here. 10 minutes left. If no one scores, we will have a draw on our hands. Hamilton on top of the NESCAC, 4-1, and Tufts in 5th place in the conference. So both teams looking to eke out a win.
Bescherano backing up front for the Jumbos, getting ready to receive this kickoff from Kevin Halliday.
And that's intercepted by Eccles. Kevin Halliday winning possession. And his ball intercepted. O'Malley sends it up. Sullivan winning the header. Cadet challenging Johnson there, but shot is well wide.
Yeah, both high and wide from Cadet. Both of these teams are off until next Saturday. Hamilton travels to Amherst to take on the purple and white. And then Tufts goes up to take on nationally ranked Middlebury So both of these teams have other Tufts contests coming up next. So it looks like Tanner Jameson is playing without a shoe.
Holding it in his left hand there, and with the physical play on Talzania, and it'll be a Hamilton throw-in.
And the referee's just going to give him a moment here.
He's got to untie it, put it on, retie it.
Yeah, feet are kind of important in this game, Matt. So shoes are too.
But they will stop the clock.
Taking a little time, having a little trouble with the heel.
Pescerano, guarded by Eccles. Put it up. And Halliday going down hard. Weatherby getting it up to Bescherano. He'll chase it into the corner there with O'Malley. And it'll be a tough throw-in on the far side. Cleared out by O'Malley. Sullivan being chased down by Wood and lets it slide out for Tufts throw. Majumder coming on, replacing Kevin Halliday here.
So two strikers now sacrificing an attacking midfielder for a little more bite up front.
Oh, and it'll actually be Zinner going to the bench and Halliday shifting over to the right wing.
So definitely a real attacking change for Shapiro here. Zinner was playing in the midfield, but he is a fullback.
O'Malley clears it out. Oh, and that sliding past Delaney. Hamilton with a transition opportunity now. And Wood was offside.
Yeah, pretty clearly offside by Wood. Not the greatest play from him.
Weatherby switches fields. Headed out by Eccles. Eccles struggling with a hamstring, it looks like.
Maybe he's just getting some cramp. He's been playing a fairly long time and with a lot of breaks.
Cadet sends it over to the right side. Talzania challenged. No foul called. Tasker coming away. Junder winning that ball, and Bescherano in a foot race here, but it's cleared out by Lichtman. 5.5 minutes remaining. Looks like Jackson Nadger's going to come on for Zach Halliday.
It's again trying to get a little more height, I think, for the lineup.
Weatherby coming over to take the long throw in. Gets some good distance on it. Bouncing around in the box, cleared out by O'Malley.
And straight away, there was Nadger contributing with a flicked on header.
Hamilton throwing. Under 5 remaining. And a sticky situation there for goalie Bruce Johnson, but made the right pass. And it's Kevin Halliday on the right wing. Nice move to get around there. And it's off O'Malley last for Tufts throwing.
Well, maybe a little at fault for Hamilton's first goal. Bruce Johnson has been very solid in net for the Jumbos today. He's made some good saves. Also had an issue on the second goal where he didn't parry it away. But those are minor things that most goalies would be unable to avoid.
Come on. Let's go, Hamilton. Come on, boys. Come on, White. Let's go. Let's do it. Here we go now. Here we go.
Off Nadger there.
Come on, White.
3.5 minutes left, and neither team has really created anything of note so far.
And Johnson coming out for that one.
The first half compared to the second half and this overtime period that we've endured have really been night and day. 4 goals in 45 minutes and none in the next 60.
Tasker running through the midfield in space. And couldn't find Bescherano there. Nadger now chasing it down, but it's Talzania first. Schmidt the other way. Facing the double team, tries to get it up to Wood, but it'll be Coleman letting it roll out for a goal kick. 2.5 minutes left, and a substitution here as Rowan Myers will come on. And he'll take off Schmidt.
Myers with 2 goals this season for the Continentals. Looking to make it 3.
Jameson heads it up to Bescherano. Playing with Tasker on the wing now. And that's cleared by Cadet. And Coleman called for climbing the back of Wood there.
Yeah, did put his hands on there, but I'm not sure how much of a boost he actually tried to get. Didn't impede that much, but it was enough for a foul to be called just at the halfway line.
So a minute and a half left. It'll be Heller to play the ball in for the Continentals.
This could make or break the Hamilton Continentals' chance at winning this game.
Headed by Nadger. Myers now. And it's straight to Majumder. Minute 12 left for the Jumbos. Halliday on the wing. Cuts inside. Plays it over. Delaney now.
There is 1 minute remaining.
And that might have been blocked by hand, but defender very close there. Tasker with the ball on the left wing. Gets around his man. Plays the ball in, and it's out for a Tufts corner kick. 47 seconds remaining.
And this is getting interesting. Here comes Delaney to take the corner.
Jack Delaney, the in-swinger, calling for 10 yards here. He'll play it anyways. It's up and headed by Eccles. And out by Myers. Weatherby plays it in. Deflected by Hamilton. Bruce Johnson is caught out of net. 20 seconds remaining. And it's out for a throw-in here. 15 seconds left. Jumbo's desperately trying to bring the ball back downfield. Tasker boots it up.
That was almost
8 seconds left.
Almost a handball for Tasker there.
Majumder with the header, and it'll be Pollock scooping it up. And that'll be the end of the game here with 1 second left as Pollock boots it away. So after 110 minutes, couldn't decide it, but 2 goals for each team in the first half are what decides it. And Hamilton and Tufts draw here at Bellow Field. Charlie, thoughts on the game?
I think it's the correct result. The teams were very balanced. Neither team really showed that they were better than the other. The Jumbos dominate possession, but they weren't really creating chances with that were good enough to forge a winner. And as a result, we end up at the end of 110, 2-2, and a draw each.
Eccles and Lebelzik scoring for Hamilton, and on the other end, it was Sullivan and Lawson. So thank you for joining us. Tufts will take on Middlebury this week. And they pick up a draw in NESCAC play. So thank you for joining us, Charlie Driver and Lucas Johnson. I'm Matt Macy Phelps here with JumboCast. Thank you for tuning in.